All right, folks. This is a recording of what I wanted to talk about this morning, which nobody showed up at. Eventually, there probably will be a time I have to give you a grade. And, right now, if we don't do anything, that grade ain't going to be so great for your fourth quarter. And I was really hoping you guys would pick up these Raspberry Pis and play with them. I want you to kind of keep them, but if you're not going to use them for anything, then I might as well take them back and use them somewhere else. So, first thing, if you do have a Raspberry Pi, and I have no idea other than Vance if anybody has one, I've asked you to text me or to send me an email and let me know whether you were able to even pick one up. So I will still just go ahead and demonstrate how to, get it set up wirelessly at home. If you look at the lab, this is what I put in the email the other day, lab 3223 on page 7. It kind of goes into how to set it up. And went too far. So you need, of course, have a card reader for the micro card. Is one scenario. If you have a micro card, you can plug it into your computer. It may tell you that it can't read the card or anything like that, but if you see anything that shows a Cisco PL app, there is a file, Chestnut, and that file you need to open, and you can edit anything in here. So here you would put your Wi-Fi at home. Here you would put your password at home. Your device name and device password should still be in there from when we set them up at school. Save it back to that drive, put it back into the Raspberry Pi, boot it up, and if you put your wireless adapter, that USB wireless, it's called, I think, R-Link, big black, like thumb drive looking thing in your Raspberry Pi, when you boot it up, it should find it and connect to the wireless network. If the thing's blinking green, then you know you're connected. If it's not blinking green, you have issues. So that's one way you can do it, directly in the file. The other way is from the PL App Launcher itself. But in order to do this, you would have to have it connected with the cable, just like at school, to your home network. So you can see here, I have my home network on here. Now I have mine set up wirelessly, but if you had it connected up and it worked at school, you should be able to connect it up with a cable and get the same thing at home. You'll just have a different IP address, whatever your school network is. And of course, mine just went offline. Be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, I'm connected. So if you are connected and you use your cable, and you have an IP address and it recognizes it, that means it knows that you're there. So you can go to set up a new device, use your drop down. You don't even need your drop down menu. You don't need your image. All you have to do is update the Wi-Fi SSID and Wi-Fi password, and then click on Update Config Only, and it will put your Wi-Fi password in there. And then, of course, you're going to have to reboot the device and unplug the wire and see if it'll connect wirelessly. So those are your two ways. You can either use an adapter, plug it into your computer, go to this file, change it there, get the Raspberry Pi online, and with using your cable, hopefully you shouldn't have any problem with that. And then once that's the situation, you can go here, change it, and save it. Now, if for some reason, and I had a problem with this when it got to here, it gave me an IP address, and for some reason, I don't know, it wouldn't connect. So I did have to go back and download the PL image again, and you know, copy it to my computer, and put the micro card, with an adapter back into my computer, and then had to kind of redo everything and go back, browse the file, and then it was able to work. So if for some reason it doesn't connect, you may have to go back to the start, and with your micro card, and reload everything. Now, if that's a problem or something, let me know, because you may have to do if you remember how we did a disk part, we had to do a clean, and then you had to go to computer management and reformat it and all that stuff. Hopefully you won't have to do that. So once I connect, the PL app opens up, and all the labs are here. So these are the labs. There are some other labs that don't involve using the Raspberry Pi. So those are other labs that, I don't know if I have all of these actually in the printouts, because they updated the course, to 2.01, and I think I still had 2.0. Maybe some of you started some of these while we were still in class. I don't know if you did, but they're kind of fun to play around with. The two that I was hoping that we could, have a kind of a class on, because it's really kind of neat, is this 32514, where we actually kind of connect with things, and it's what they call the REST API. That's kind of cool, where you actually get information from the web and have the Raspberry Pi do a bunch of different things. The other one that's really neat is the where's it at? The LED line and graphs is kind of a cool one to do these two, 6.5 and 6.6. So, if you have a Raspberry Pi, those are the ones that I think are cool. If you don't have a Raspberry Pi yet, as I said in the email that probably nobody read, chapter 4 is set up there. You have to do the study guide, download it yourself, and fill it in. You don't necessarily have to print it out unless you want to. And then there are some packet tracers in chapter 4. And I'm going to do another video, which I'll post, just kind of going through some of the key things in chapter 4 that I want you to see. We are going to have a test on chapter 3, whether you get through all the Raspberry Pis or not. Most of the stuff on the test, will come from the study guide. So all these videos, they get kind of long, they get kind of big. So I'm not going to send them to you in an email. I'm going to post them in the on Netacad in the module section. I'll set up a little area called WebEx, and you can scroll down there and download the videos from there. So again, I urge you, please let me know what your status is. Do you have a Raspberry Pi? Are you getting the emails? If you guys would text each other and kind of talk with as a group and find out, hey, are you guys seeing these things? Are you checking your email? As I said, I still have to somehow probably give you a grade, and this is what we're working on. And honestly, I think it's fun, especially when we get into some of these later labs. 5344 is actually one we do over the internet. One of you, it's actually kind of a partner lab. One of you has a button to press as the emergency button, and the other one has a Raspberry Pi connected to some lights, which says, hey, there's an emergency. So how much you get out of this is up to you. Hopefully you get more out of it than just staying home sleeping and playing video games or whatever. All right, so I'm going to end this now, and I'm going to also set up a meeting for tomorrow at 11 o'clock again. If I don't hear or anything from anybody, probably just have to start calling the houses just to make sure your parents know that, I'm setting up courses and classes as I am required to. And, whether or not you partake of them is, it's up to you. So talk to you later.